get it in. I got another chance to get it right. I'm out here trying to do right, trying to do the right thing. But I'm about to get out this car. Y'all, it's another day. It's just another day's journey. And I'm glad. So glad about it, so glad. My daddy used to sing that in devotional service. But anyway, I got to give y'all an update on my dad. I'm a dad's girl, so I got to. I got to do that. I'm a daddy's little girl. I love both my parents, but I felt like I related more to my dad. Yep, I'm a daddy's little girl. And my dad was the deacon in the church. And I sat there and I listened to every word he said. Let's get out here and get this walking in, y'all. Excuse the wind from blowing. Good morning. Excuse the wind for blowing, y'all. Sorry. It's just another day's journey. And I'm glad. So glad about it. So glad. So glad. It's just another day's journey. And I'm glad. Oh, I'm so glad to be alive. Do 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 do. Must Jesus have the cross alone, and all the world go free. There's a cross for everyone, and there's a cross for me. Good morning. All right. Yes, y'all, it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. I'm glad about it. Sometimes when you're young and you sit and you listen to the elders in the church, or not even at church, just you just sit and listen to the elders. I was the type where I sit on the front porch and listen to the elders talking and giving their wisdom. I just always have been that type that'll sit right up under them. And sometimes you don't understand the things that they was talking about until you start going through some things, until you start living. I remember one time somebody tried to age shame me. That's a thing now. Since I'm in my 40s, is getting age shamed. Let me tell y'all something. If you're young and you're out there listening to me, shaming somebody is not a diss. It's not a diss at all. Keep on living, and you'll understand why it's not a diss. Age shaming is something that's confusing to me. It's like you're trying to shame me for making it through. You're trying to shame me for pushing through. You're trying to shame me for making it to an age where some didn't make it to. You're going to shame me for growing in love and wisdom. You're going to shame me for being somewhere where you one day want to be. You want to one day be able to say, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s. That's a good thing. I'm not going to let nobody make me feel bad for growing old. That's the whole goal. That's the goal. You want to grow old. You want to keep living and having another day journey. Having another day where you can love right, live right, be right, learn something new every day. Don't shame somebody or try to shame somebody, because I know a lot of people probably feel the way I feel. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Just because you don't see it as a blessing, don't mean it's not a blessing. Good morning. Just keep on living. Just keep on living. and you'll understand what I'm talking about. When I was a preteen, I couldn't wait to be a teenager. When I was a teenager, I couldn't wait till I turned 18. When I turned 18, I couldn't wait till I turned 21. And so on and so forth. So to age shame somebody is a little confusing to me because I thought that was the goal. I really thought that was the goal. I always have wanted to be that grandmama with that gray hair and sitting around family and laughing and talking and dancing. I always have wanted to grow old. So I just thank God for this second chance I've been given. You might as well say it's my second, third, fourth, fifth chance that I have been given. Because like I stated before, I am also a meningitis survivor. So, and in both times, there have been two people that I cannot get out of my head. Both times, my brother and his wife have been right there. Right there. When I was diagnosed with meningitis, my brother drove down. I think they stayed about 10 hours away then. Drove down to see me in the hospital. Good morning, good morning. And my sis, when I was getting ready to graduate, I still had pain, headaches, real bad, migraines. And my hair was just all over the place. I always have had a bunch of hair. And she asked me kind of like she was scared I was going to say no or something. She was like, you want me to try to braid your hair down so your cap can fit? I said, yes, please. And she helped me get ready for my graduation. That's why I say can't nobody say that ain't my sis. She helped me to get ready for my graduation. And I could barely walk. I could barely walk. I could barely feed myself because I was still learning how to grip things. Y'all, when I tell y'all it's a blessing to grow older and go through some things, I would never let somebody age shame me. I would never let somebody make me feel bad for making it through. It's just another day's journey, and I'm glad. Like my daddy used to say, oh, he used to sing some songs that taught me the stories of the Bible. He don't know it. Well, he might know it. But a lot of things that my dad sung during devotional service taught me the way church service should be going, first of all. He taught me how church is supposed to start, why it's supposed to start that way. And he never shied away from lecturing me. If I asked a question, I better be prepared to sit. Because my daddy was going to make sure I knew every intricate detail of the question that I asked and the response that he's going to give me. He would always bring up Bible verses. He would always bring up examples, life examples. Thank you. It's all God. If it wasn't for the Most High Yah in my life, I don't think I would be able to do half of the things that I'm doing now. It was Yah that put the right people in my life and got the ball rolling. That's exactly what it was. I had somebody tell me I don't look like what's on my chart. I don't look. These some wild squirrels out here. These squirrels do not care. These squirrels will jump out on you. But when they were reading over my chart, they had to come back in the room. Like, you don't look like what's on your chart. I said, yes. When did your symptoms start? They started asking a lot of questions. When I started telling them, they went back and retreated started going back over my medical records and everything. They could not believe that I have had meningitis. They could not believe that I had had a heart attack. They could not believe that I had 7 kids. They could not believe out of my 7 kids, I had 2 sets of twins. They just couldn't fathom it. And then to top it all off, I'm in here with leukemia at the time. Because I'm a cancer survivor now. I'm a survivor. But they could not believe my medical records. And they had to go over it again. And they had to figure something out. How are we going to treat this patient that has been through all of this? Good morning. So, to treat someone that has had a history of heart attack, meningitis, it's just a slew of things was wrong with me. So to treat me and still say, we believe in you, we know you got this, that meant a lot to me. That meant a lot to me. Y'all, we're gonna get this smile in. We've been doing good. This is day 4. I just really, this morning I had my dad on my mind a lot. And I was just thinking about some of the songs he used to sing during devotional service. But that one song stuck out in my head. It's just another day's journey, and I'm glad. And he used to always do that, glad. So glad. I don't hear my daddy sing no more. And that breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. But you know what? He sang so much when I was growing up that was enough for me. That was enough for me. He used to sing this one verse all the time, and I think he sung that verse a lot because he could relate to it. And he was singing in different songs. So, the verse went, now I can't sing it like my daddy now. Can't sing, but my daddy used to add this verse to a lot of his songs during devotional service. He would say, I don't bother nobody. I try to treat everybody the same. But every time I turn my back, they scandalize my name. Well, I wish somebody here. And he would sing that. And when he say the part where he say, but every time I turn my back, he will actually turn around to the congregation. I'd be sitting there saying, that's my daddy. That's my daddy. But I've never really mentioned that to him. But I know where my daddy come from. And I know what he's been through. So I feel like I can relate to some of his passion in his presentation of song and music. I feel like I could relate to why he would sing the way he did, or sang the way he did. I can understand why he's so passionate about believing in himself. I saw it in his eyes when I was real sick that it hurt him. It hurt my dad to see me sick like that. It hurt my mom too, but right now, today, I'm talking about my dad. As y'all know, my mom was right there the whole time. She was one of my caregivers. But I'm just talking about my dad right now. I'll talk about my mom tomorrow because I know she'll be saying she ain't saying nothing about me. Mom, I love you. But today I'm talking about my daddy. My daddy, I miss him singing. And I used to feel like sitting in church, I used to feel like my daddy was singing directly to me, for me, and for my understanding. A lot of the books of the Bible, a lot of the Bible stories, a lot of the characters in the Bible, or I'm going to say people because they're not characters, I would have known none of those stories if it wasn't for my daddy. And daddies don't get enough respect. Good morning, Jerry Talks. You made it. Good morning. Yep. I feel like the dads that are in the community that are trying their best to be there, to discipline their children, to look after their children, to guide their children. I feel like they deserve something, some type of mention. They deserve some love. And my dad, he's one of those dads. He deserves that love because even though he was not perfect, nobody's perfect. My parents are not perfect. But I thank God for my parents because a lot of the things that I lean back on now as an adult comes from my parents. Things that my parents told me when I was 14, 15 years old. I'm using it now. Words that they gave me when I was young, I'm using it now. I found myself saying things that my dad told me when I was young. And so I feel like parents that are putting that into their kids, no matter how your kids turn out, because you could put all your all into your children, and they still may come out in a way you didn't want. I don't think nobody wanted their child to be out in the streets or, doing wrong. So, with that being said, when you put things into your child, just understand they're going to hold on to it. And if that child chooses to hold on to the negative more than the positive, then that means they need to do some self-work, some self-healing. Because if you go through life thinking that everything is going to go your way and be the way you want it to be, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening. You're going to be in for a rude awakening. If your parents were there and trying their best, I know my daddy was a handful. My daddy was not perfect. My mama was not perfect. But they're my parents. And they kept me out of harm's way the best they could, because like I said, I was a rough kid. They loved on me. They made sure I had a roof over my head. They made sure I had everything I needed. They instilled values in me, morals, and even if it came as tough love, it made me who I am today. It made me who I am today. Because don't get me wrong, my parents would put me in my place when I was young. They put me in my place, but I would never hold that against them because they was doing what saved me from the streets. They saved me from going too far. Because I was that child that I would go too far. If you give me an inch, I'll take a mile. I would take a mile. But when I was in the hospital, when I was in high school, and I just thought to myself, I done did all these years in school, and now I may not be able to graduate, or now I may not be able to make it, because let's face it, I had something that is Jared Talk still in the room. I'm sorry to hear that, Jared. Jared, you understand when I say this. I'm a meningitis survivor. So, y'all go follow Jared Talks. When I was given that diagnosis and I had to watch my mom at that door cry, and I had to learn everything all over again, and it still to this day has its side effects on me, to have parents that understand what all I've been through and never give up on me means a lot. Means a whole lot. It still bothers me to this day. My dad has spanked me. Yep, Jared, my dad he had to put me in my place. My mom too. They had to put me in my place. But now that I'm an adult, I see why. They knew what was out there. I didn't. They knew what disrespect was, and they didn't think it was cute. See, now we living in a world where right is wrong and wrong is right. So if you correct your child for being disrespectful, you're the bad parent. How? It's my child. If I tell them no, don't touch that. I was in the grocery store one day and I told my 8-year-old son not to keep grabbing the bags in the produce aisle. Over there by the vegetables and everything, he just kept grabbing bags. And I said, don't do that. You leave some for everybody. We only need one bag. It was another lady, older lady, came up to him and said, get you another bag, baby. His mom just told him, don't do that. You leave some for everybody. And you came behind his mom and said, get you another one, baby. He listened to her. He listened to her and grabbed a whole bunch more. Started running towards his dad, and guess what? The people that working at Walmart started following him and watching him. So you were so busy trying to listen to the other lady who has nothing to do with you. She don't care if people accuse you of stealing. She don't care if people say you're being disruptive in the store. She don't know you. She don't even know your name. And you decided to listen to her, and now you're running up to me saying, Mama, these people are following me. You should have listened to your mama. Your mama told you, no, don't do that. And you decided to listen to a complete stranger who is not connected to you. I birthed you. So that's the way I see it with my parents. They created me. So even though I might not agree with everything, they created me. And they have my best interest at heart. Now, I'm not talking about for those parents that's out there doing some old crazy stuff, like that lady leaving her children at home for years, and, people just leaving their kids with somebody who they don't know, barely know, whatever, and the children getting essayed and all that. Now, I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about my parents. They created me, and they loved me so much to the point where they didn't want to see me go down the wrong path. And that's all I'm saying on that. I love them for that. But today my dad was just on my mind real heavy. And the way he would sing. And now he don't sing anymore. And I miss that. I miss hearing my dad sing. I miss music being played in the church. I miss people being excited for church. I miss the church life. And I think that's why I stopped going to church. Because now it's not church anymore. But anyway, I'm going to call my dad today. Or I'm going to go by there and see him. Thank y'all for walking this mile with me. It's been great. I did another mile. Day 4. Until next time, gracias por ver. Thanks for watching. Adios. Bye.